The Museum of Flight has been educating and capturing imagination since 1965. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the museum has had to shut its doors to the public, cutting off a vital source of funds for the organization. GiveBIG Washington is a fundraising event benefiting local nonprofits, including the Museum of Flight. Wednesday, May 6th at 12 p.m., join the Virtual Air Traffic Simulation Network as we take to the skies in a virtual fly-in at the home of the Museum of Flight, Boeing Field, all live on Twitch TV.
You ready to get this thing on the road? Well, look, I've kept it mostly straight and the blue side's up, and that's what you told me to do, right?
Yeah, blue side up, brown side down, doing great.
Don't miss the special guests, interviews, and even live aviation trivia. Virtual pilots from all over the world will be hopping into their simulators to join us. Our goal, to raise $5,000 to help the Museum of Flight fund its programs and weather the turbulence. Head to givebigwa.org/MOFFlyin at noon on Wednesday, May 6th, and throughout the day to join in the fun. See you in the sky.
I'm just letting the plane tell me what it wants to do, and what it wants to do apparently is go in every direction at the exact same time. All right, and fade in. Welcome to the show. 7:02 p.m. We're not too far off our start time. Welcome to KBFI once again. I was about to say beautiful overcast skies. Well, they're traditional anyway. It's probably our last good day of VFR before we start getting socked in with weather, and we'll all have to start learning how to do IFR patterns. Welcome to the stream, some of our wonderful FLT members. Caitlin, Alicia, good to see you. Welcome to the show. Today's incredible little sporty aircraft is a Cirrus Vision. Surprising that 6 people can fit in this aircraft. It's small, it's light, and it's a jet. All these things are true at the same time. And having flown it for just a little bit of time yesterday and gotten to pull the emergency parachute system, well, I've fallen in love with this aircraft. What can I say? So we're going to give it a try, and we're going to go fly. Let's see. I think we have to fly south. We're going to do 14 right, the big runway. Then we're going to take a right-hand turn. We're going to actually head up north and then out to the west a little bit. Explore the area out past Hood Canal, because this thing can really cook. We're going to be up to something like 250 knots or so. And then come back and land here all before the weather starts to get real hideous, because that's going to happen tonight. We're going to get gusting winds. We're going to get rain. We're going to get the overcast deck coming right down to the ground. While it's still good, let's get while the getting's good. So let's begin. This is all beautiful glass cockpit kind of aircraft. You got all these little widgets and gizmos and wonderful things that you get to play with on this aircraft. It's
really snazzy.
Isn't it nice?
That's a good looking instrument panel.
One of the things that I think is actually just the nicest touch is this little stitched leather panel.
Oh,
it's just that little like
sport, that make it luxe.
That little sports car kind of thing going on. All right, here we go. Engine start. I'm hearing it. You look over here, you can see exhaust gas temperature at 900 Fahrenheit. N2 is good. We'll turn the starter off. Okay, let's watch these gauges. Everything looks good so far. Oil pressure's good. Oil's cold, but it's getting up there. Amps are good. Volts are good. Fuel quantity looks like 70 to 75 gallons. Yeah, 75 gallons in each tank. And this aircraft burns, I believe, 75 gallons an hour. Let's take a look at the profile. Whoops, no. Edit. Cirrus. Basic profile. 74 gallons in cruise per hour, 240 knots, 240 nautical miles. Our nav, let me go ahead and give you a look at our nav plan today. There we go. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit different than it looks. We're going to actually head out south from KBFI. We're going to take a left at 700 feet. We're going to avoid KRNT, head north, cross Elliott Bay, head toward Hood Canal, and then we're just going to head south down sort of the Hood Canal route. Try to avoid the military submarine degaussing area and all those places where they'll shoot SAM missiles at you if you go over. And then we're actually going to head right back across the south, so south of Bremerton. I think we're going to be crossing, looks like Colvos Passage, north of the Narrows, and then get back into the neighborhood. So should be fun. Current flight time on this is, or current flight distance, 78 nautical miles, and at our cruise, 20 minutes. Very fast.
Wow.
Yeah. Sporty little plane it is. All right. Just a moment while. Let's see. Game capture. Just making sure the stream is healthy. Performance mode. That looks good. And is there anybody else joining us on the call? No. All right. Let's see. I think Caitlin, might be able to make you a co-host. Yes. So
just in case.
Well, if someone wants to be invited. Yeah, because it's very hard for me to switch from the sim.
Monitoring that.
Yeah, and we've seen that happen before. Okay. Well, while we get ready to go, let me go out and turn ForeFlight off on the view, and I'm gonna move that over here. Okay, let's do a little bit of checking real quick. Gonna look out that window, make sure control surfaces look good. Looks good to me. And parking brakes off. All right, let's get rolling. We're back at Signature Aviation again. Nice place, nice jets. I always feel a little outclassed hanging out here. All right. Now the question is, do we think we can actually take off the short runway?
Just ask him to tilt it up a little at the end. That'll solve it.
Oh, a little a little curved ramp. It's like Soviet carriers.
Put a piece of plywood on a box.
That's perfect.
Hi guys.
Ring of Fire. Hello. Who do we have there?
Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy. How are you?
How's it going?
Good. We're having our...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I gotta hop off at 7:30. I got a conference call with someone in Hong Kong. So.
Sure, that's about the time for that. I understand. Well, glad to have you join us. As I've been saying, we've got good weather for at least the next couple hours before things get really hairy out here in the Pacific Northwest. So I say let's go fly. Let's go have fun. We're going to go out, I think, around Hood Canal in our Cirrus Vision because I really liked it so much from the last time. I just think it's a sporty little wonderful plane. So let's go. Let's see. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, before we go, I'm going to dial in what I want for altitude. I'm going to do 2,500, and then we'll...
Now I can't fly because I don't have a sim, but I'm appropriately virtually background for you.
Let me see. I want to see. I got to see. Yes. Oh, that's so cool. Where did you get that?
I downloaded it off of Google. I just, if you do like Top Gun zoom backgrounds,
yeah,
you can get this. You've got one without the pilot, but I'm just, he's my wingman.
Oh, someone's really disappointed in this shitty channel, says Chili XX. Aw, sad. Bye, Chili. All right. I actually liked it. I know. Yeah, just another bot. I actually was able to pick up a background for my. I was able to like pull a virtual background from flying my DCS Tomcat, and I put that in the background of my WebEx for work. That was fun.
Nice.
All right. So let's see. Let's get rolling. We got the flaps where we want to get them, and I got my autopilot set. We're going to do southbound takeoff, left-hand turn 700 feet, and then we're going to get up and get out across Elliott Bay toward Hood Canal. So here we go. Yep, I think the short runway is going to work fine. Gear up. Flaps up. All right. And this is a pressurized cockpit, so we can climb like gangbusters. It's not a problem. 500. 600. 700. Turn. And keep climbing. Pull the throttle back just a little bit. I don't need to go crazy. Passing 1750. All right.
I feel like that went much smoother than Wednesday nights.
yes, yesterday or
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The Concorde.
Wednesday, the day with the parachute?
Well, yesterday was the day with the parachute, and some very nasty crosswinds. And then Wednesday was the day we do not speak of, yeah.
Wednesday was the Concorde, yeah.
It was the Concorde.
Really, that was worse than the Caps incident?
I think it was, absolutely. I was very...
I was upstairs, I wasn't on the call, so I just heard in real life of, oh no! Oh, what have I done? I'm like, oh.
That sounds about right. What have I done? Pretty much accurately explains the whole thing. It
explains a lot of my life, actually.
Oh, really? All right.
Well, here we go. I found.
That is so fast.
What's that? What is it? Me?
Yeah, this plane.
Oh yeah. Well, we haven't really got it, and we really haven't got it going yet. Let me.
Jet. So.
It's a jet, but it's got a really tiny nozzle in the back.
Look, I'm sitting in a Cirrus jet now.
Oh, sweet. Let me see this.
With a banquet behind you, apparently.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, the background is kind of fun.
It's a museum dinner.
Yeah, I think so. There's a logo up there.
Yes. I love it. All right, let's see. IAS. Now, see, I want to see if the auto throttle works. We'll set it to 230. And we'll see if that holds correctly. No, I don't think so. Auto throttle. There we go. You have to arm the auto throttles. Oh, yeah. This is the only way to fly. I like this. All right, 2,500 feet, 230, let's see, 230 knots indicated. Let's do a little bit of navigating. Bring up the old ForeFlight here and we'll take a look. Okay, so we departed KBFI. We're underneath Class Bravo airspace, thank goodness. So 300 there, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. We're going to go for waypoint LOFAL, low fall. And let's see. 60 nautical miles, 4 minutes to low fall. Take a slight left to RP. And then we head south for a ways. So we're actually going to turn right around right around the town of Daybob. I didn't know that was a town. I didn't know anybody named anything Daybob. Okay.
Spelled like it sounds?
DABOB, the very same.
Are we sure it's not Dabob?
I think it is now. Now, as we head south from RP, off our left-hand side is going to be Bangor Naval Base, where all the subs are, and so we might actually get a look at some of that. Be kind of cool.
Would there be virtual subs?
Well, there's been virtual aircraft carriers. I've seen them. We'll pass the town of Belfair, right at the north head of Case Inlet. Take a left over Port Orchard, and then cross Vashon and head back home. So it's a nice day to be doing this. All right, now let me see. Let me pull this guy up here. So this is our G. I guess it's our G1000. It's our awesome Garmin 1000 engine here. It is complex.
I have to tell you, in the Cirrus that Manny took me up in,
Yeah.
it's nice. It's incredibly nice instrumentation in there.
It feels nice. It feels luxurious.
It is luxurious. That's exactly what it is.
I bet it smells good in here too.
It does. It's got that like leather new car scent. It's just.
Oh, that does sound nice.
You can just tell, can't you? You can just tell.
I feel like that's almost disappointing, though. I would
Why?
want a new airplane to smell better than a new car.
I've flown the worst plane at BIFA and the Cirrus, and it's not disappointing. I promise you. You feel like you're getting into the Bugatti Veyron of airplanes.
I can dig it.
You know, that's probably at least as nice as I'm ever gonna get.
Like, it would be it would need to be like way nicer than the nice car. You know what I mean?
It is. It's nicer than my car, my actual car. It's nicer on the.
I think I'd want to know. I think I'd want to know what additional touches that you'd like in an aircraft that made it nicer than the nicest car. There's got to be something you're looking for.
Like, you've got high standards, man.
I just
Well,
want to know.
no.
That's all.
Like, the new car smell is nice, but I think a new plane would have to bring something even nicer to the olfactory senses.
You mean other than just
You know
flying
what?
the whole view?
When the weather gets better and we get past all this craziness, I'm gonna ask Manny to take you up. He will. He's nice.
You got to do that. You got to do that. You're going to have a
You're
great
gonna
time.
get in and you're gonna go, oh, that's what Tommy and Charles meant.
I get it. You're like, I get it now. I would love to take a ride in this thing.
There's got to be something extra. You know what I mean?
I think everybody's waiting to hear what the extra is that you want. I mean, like, this thing has got a parachute system on it.
But we won't talk about that.
I don't know.
So it smells nice.
Maybe it's too many years teaching in the ALC, and
It's nicer than that. I can tell you for sure. It's nicer.
that plane's seen a lot of sticky children.
Oh, well, now that's okay. Yeah, now I'm getting where you're coming from. Now you're kind of like.
There's a difference between like private jet and like family sedan.
Yeah, and I wasn't even in the Cirrus Vision. I was in the propeller model.
CR22 or SR22?
Yeah, I think it's the CR22. SR22.
SR22, I think. Yeah.
It's nice.
Way to show her off, Charles.
I think it's like, is that Duke Nukem in the cockpit? No. Oh, he's got a mustache. Of course he does.
I have seen this one in real life, though.
It's Damian Lewis.
No, the airplane.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We got invited to the dinner when Cirrus came to Clay Lacey
Oh, yeah.
a few years ago, and they were demoing the plane.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We were just starting to prep for my very last year of summer camp at ACE. And I was the aviation lead, and so I got to go because airplanes.
Okay. So the water we're flying over now is, depending on how you want to pronounce it, either Daybob Bay or Debob Bay. And if you look to the left, you'll see a spit of land here, and then the next set of water is Hood Canal, and in Hood Canal is Bangor Missile Base. So it's going to be sort of near the end of the spit of land, so let's see if we can see anything interesting. So it's going to be sort of over there-ish.
The Bob Bay.
Debob Bay, yeah.
Kind of like the Bob.
The Bears. Now, who would win in a contest? Ditka or a hurricane?
It is, in fact, Daybob.
Oh, Daybob? Okay.
And that is where the Taylor Shellfish Farms has their hatchery.
I will also say that their CEO is one of our members, and it's a fantastic company.
Oh, Taylor Shellfish Farms? Yeah. Now, Alicia, didn't you know someone who worked for Taylor Shellfish Farms?
No, I knew somebody who was working in oyster nonprofits for a while and borrowed Taylor Shellfish Farms' human-sized oyster costume for a gallon. My job
Very
drive
different
down-
from someone working at Taylor Farms.
So I volunteered to be the person because he had to work and I was in grad school or bored or something. But I
Grad school or
volunteered to do, yeah, it was probably that first year of grad school, or it was my day off from the bookstore. But I was the only person he knew who was off that day and had a car.
I could see how
And
you
so-
could use those two.
Yeah, it was a very unsettled time in my life. But yeah, so I drove 3 hours south to, not 3 hours, maybe 2. It was a beautiful day. It was a great day for a road trip. I blasted the radio as loud as I could. This was before I had air conditioning, so only 2 of the 4 windows in my 1978 Pontiac rolled down, which was great. So just constant wind and an oyster costume in the back for a 6'6", 6'8", however tall he was. Mop of curly hair, 6'8", oyster costume. That's the takeaway you need.
You had some unusual college interactions or day off from the bookstore. One of the two.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. AWOS for Bremerton National 121.2. I'm going to go ahead and just read off the AWOS. KPWT 19006 knots. So wind from the south, 10 SM overcast 060. So overcast at 6,000 feet. Looks good. Altitude, altimeter 300 inches. Crap. Charles, how do you barrow? No. There it is. Jeez. There we go. All right. About halfway to our turn point, what you're going to see here, these beautiful hills aren't apparently named anything on the chart. Oh, well, that's disappointing. Well, somebody cares about them. I guess this chart doesn't. According to ForeFlight, one of these hills is electrified. That must be a radio that must be a radio transmitter.
Oh yes, one of the great electricity farms of Western Washington.
Edison Hill, which is right next to Tesla Hill, and they won't stop fighting.
Tesla Hill also lost $14 billion upon tweeting today.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe Tesla Hill's CEO should shut up.
Yeah, it personally cost him $3 billion and the company $14 billion.
Did they actually fine him for doing that?
No, he just lost his stock dropped.
Stock market.
Well, because he said Tesla was overpriced, right?
Yep. Well, that we'll show him.
But was that actually the one instance of somebody actually being hacked when they claimed to be hacked, or was this just him?
No, it was him. And then I think he was having a fight with his girlfriend or something, and he spouts off really random things.
Which he does. I think he learned that from Joe Rogan.
Look, I'm all for being an eccentric billionaire and all, but when it starts costing me $14 billion a pop, I think I'm gonna tone it back a little.
I would.
I mean, it's just me.
Pretty soon you recognize there's a hydraulic relationship between your mouth and your wallet.
I saw somebody tweet that the stock market was just an index of rich people's feelings about money, and I cannot stop thinking about it.
Well, they're not wrong, and it's all their money because we're all investing in it to some degree.
Yeah, whether by choice or no.
All right, let's see what we're looking like now. So we're past the hills with no name, and we're Belfair is off to our left, and we're about to turn just at the head of the Case Inlet near Vaughan Bay. I
don't know why, but everything is mildly amusing to me today. So
it's Friday.
Well, yes, it is, and happy Friday to everybody.
That's called a Friday feeling. Everything's just
is
mildly.
It Friday?
Amusing.
It is.
I can't even know what day it is.
So far,
Can't
Friday means anything.
Can't hardly believe it. All right, well, we're turning up Case Inlet here a little bit. And believe it or not, our hometown isn't actually that far away. We've traveled an awfully long way in a short amount of time.
Hooray for jet engines!
I mean, this thing is trouble-free. It's just hassle-free.
I support that cheer for jet engines.
You kind of want one of these now, don't you, Chaz?
I do. Do any of you currently not want this aircraft?
Oh,
Hey, quick question for you. I got to hop off in 5 minutes to do this call. But, on the gift bags that we're doing, like I've got that book that came today that's signed, and then I've got the poster that's signed by the SR-71 pilots.
Yeah.
And I have some of the Cirrus stuff. I think I've also got some Boeing lanyards and some like Boeing ephemera. Who is coordinating that, and how are we going to get that to people?
Good use of the word ephemera, by the way. You know, that's what I asked on the channel today. I honestly need someone to help coordinate it because at this point I'm just a little bit tapped out. And as far as getting it to folks, we will use, you know, either the mail or UPS or whatever, but the good news there is that I think we can probably not have to do that right away.
Okay.
You know, as long as we track who it is that we're getting it to and we can get details to them, we can kind of take the time we need to get that out to folks. I think what we need to do in the short term is organize how much stuff we actually have and decide what manner we intend to give it away and how we select people to give it to.
Right.
And that is something I could just use some help with. I'll say that right now.
Well, I could put it together like a list in Excel, and then however you decide you want to give it away, somebody will have to keep track. I won't be able to be on the whole stream.
I understand.
Day job. But,
yep, I get you.
I can help get it to people in the mail, but I still have to get those things from said people who give to it.
I understand. And as I say, I think we need to solve the first problem first, which is what do we have and how do we give it away, and then we solve the second problem second, which is where does each piece have to go and who's currently holding on to it.
I'll put together a list over the weekend of what I know we have, and I'll make it like an open shareable document. And before I hop off, I have to show you a cool thing I got today.
Yeah,
see?
I can.
So this is
American Air Mail.
It's from 1932. It was sent through the mail, and it's signed by a race pilot and a movie producer named Al Wilson.
I
this
see.
was signed 2 days before he died in a crash at the races.
Whoa.
And he filmed like a ton of really cool, like late 1920s movies about aviation.
That's pretty amazing.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is amazing. And how did you end up with it?
eBay. I stock eBay for aviation ephemera, and I wait until no one has bid on it, and it's the very end of the auction, and I swoop in for a low price.
Bid sniper. Yep.
Throwing skippy. Bid camper sniper. Yeah, that works.
Well, thank you for showing that to us. That's very cool. And thanks in advance for being willing to help us understand the swag that we've got, because we got to give it away during the day. I think it's just going to be great.
And then last question before I hop off is,
sure.
At what point do you think we'll have the schedule shored up, and will that be posted to the GiveBIG WA link along with the bios for our speakers, and who's handling that?
Number 1, tomorrow. Number 2, yes. Number 3, me.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for getting all
this. You can do anything.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Now you're making me blush. You go on now, you.
All right. See you kids later. Stay out of trouble.
Take care, Tommy. It looks like we'll be landing soon. The weather's starting to get nasty. It's so peaceful in this aircraft. It's just absolutely a dream, and we're only at 2,000 feet. We're really not even.
I think you found your new relaxing simulator flight, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did. Why, yes, I did. This is, we're going 230 knots, and ground speed is oh crap, where's the ground speed? 244 knots.
It's good that you found that before landing.
Crap. Let's see. Push cursor, KBFI, direct to KBFI, activate. There we go. Beep, blop, bloop. All right. Yeah, ground speed to KBFI is 244 knots. Ground track, ETA 1 minute 15 seconds to KBFI. Oh, yeah. Probably time auto throttle off, throttle back. Autopilot off. Now, we took off to the south, no?
Yeah.
That means we have to land to the south as well.
Oh, good night for it.
It is, yeah. Now, it may feel like cheating a little bit, but I'm going to land using the long runway. I'm just not feeling as confident as putting this thing down as I was getting it off the ground.
Well, dude, if it's that fast, then yeah.
It's pretty fast. I'll just say that. All right, well, let's see now. If I remember right, it's 1-4 and is it 3-1? Let me see. KBFI 3-2. So 320 degrees and 140 degrees. So we want to be going the reciprocal of 140 degrees. No. Guess again. Turn left. Compass.
Pilot's quoting Sweden.
Turn left. The compass goes the wrong way. Okay, that was the wrong way. Turn the other one. Do the other way. All right, so we'll go ahead and start to descend. We want to get into the pattern at about 1,000 feet. And we're going to look at our flap speeds. It looks like we can put flaps down 50% at 190 knots, flaps 2 at 150 knots, so we're safe to do 1 notch of flaps. Current distance KBFI is... it's not saying. That's lovely.
Because you're there?
No, No, it's actually over here. It's 4.6 nautical miles. So actually it's I'm running a very, very loose pattern. I should have turned a lot earlier, but it's too bad. Okay, flaps down another notch. Gear down. And there it is. Okay, so 100 knots an hour. It's about a mile and a half a minute. 4 miles. We're doing 500 feet a minute descent. So we'll be on the ground at about the same time we reach the runway, which is what you want to be doing. Oh, you laugh, but this is like, this is the math, man. This is it.
I laughed because I thought that was a masterful understatement.
This thing stays up surprisingly well at 95 knots. Like, I'd think it'd be falling out of the sky, but...
I like that silhouette on her. She looks fast.
She does. No rough edges, as they say.
The Cirrus is a classy broad.
That's right. 700 feet, 98 knots. Wind's at 180, so it's basically coming at us a little bit from our right-hand side. So our 1 o'clock, it's pushing us to the left just a little bit. So there's a tiny little bit of crosswind. It is nothing like yesterday. None of this shaking and bouncing around. I need to increase the sink rate just a little bit. I won't be touching down right at the threshold of the runway. I'll be going over a little bit, but it's going to be okay. There's plenty of room for everybody.
It's funny, when we took off, like, I hadn't realized that the runways are at such a similar angle. They're both pointed right toward the mountain.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. And stall speed. Nose gear down. Brakes. Flaps up, flaps up. Exit stage left.
I'm watching you creep toward that right side of the runway.
That was just so that I could actually get a nice turn. You know, it was just kind of...
Sure.
I was,
All deliberate.
I was gonna Tokyo drift.
Oh my god.
No, never do that.
Oh, airplane wheels are not built for that kind of...
That's a surefire way to get that BMW chasing again. That's... We've decided they're basically like the bad flying behavior police.
The BMWs?
Yeah, every time we park a plane, there's this
There's a white SUV BMW
that like ends up like pulling right up next to us and giving us like the Luigi death stare.
Oh my god.
Like I say, I can only assume it's just like the bad flying behavior police. And we're going to just take this right back to where we found it today.
The bad flying behavior, like the FAA.
Yeah, the BFBP. A.
I'd watch those procedurals and no mistake.
The BFBPAA.
BFPPAA. I can't even say that. Like,
Nope. I actually have the idea in my head that they can't say it either. Like they always get confused.
it comes out different every time, and then they get mad at you for being confused.
Yeah, the FBPAA. I mean the FBP police. Shut
Don't
up.
fly like that.
That's right. Shut up. Now, one of the things I love about this is when you're done with your flight and you want to set your parking brakes, you press a little touchpad button. Brakes on. I don't know why I like that so much, but I really do. All right, avionics.
It feels more futuristic than an actual brake lever.
Yeah, it makes brake levers look positively like Cro-Magnon by comparison. Manual brakes, those are for Quakers.
What am I, a Luddite?
That's right. All right. Well, let's have a look here.
Yep, those are some airplanes.
Looks good to me. Now we'll take a look just briefly. I'm going to tell my ForeFlight to stop recording, and we can just take a look at our playback. And while we have a second, let's use this really cool feature in X-Plane to do an instant replay, and we can watch the landing.
Oh, from inside the parked aircraft, we can watch ourselves land.
Well, kinda.
Oh, it does the whole... Oh, okay. I thought it was going to recreate a second plane for us to watch from outside.
Not exactly.
I'm still thinking about police procedurals. Sorry.
Oh, you mean it's going to be like the Kennedy assassination? It's going to like recreate
Yeah, we're going to Zapruder film ourselves.
recreate the trajectory? Okay, here we go. I probably should do this for every landing, including the bad ones.
Especially the bad ones.
That's what everybody wants to see.
Well, you don't learn anything from the good ones.
Neither does Twitch. Flared a little bit early. Wheels. Kept the nose wheel up. That was good. Couldn't keep center line. That wasn't cool.
No, here's where you start to drift. There you go.
Blah, blah. Oh, you're like, oh, I meant to do this. Yeah, exactly. Well, that was still smooth as glass, though. I really enjoy flying this little plane.
You gonna take her up again?
Not tonight. I think we did just fine. I think that was a good workup. Tomorrow, I don't know what to expect. Tomorrow is going to be very different weather-wise. In fact, while we have a second, let's take a look at the Taf Reports, and you can see what we're talking about. So if we go to ForeFlight, we go to Imagery, northwest cloud. Okay, 3 hour. So let's see. Can we find ourselves here? Sort of at the Elliott Bay area. 6 hours. We're starting to see some incursion, overcast 70. Top 110, so about 11,000 feet up. 9 hours. Overcast 90, top 130. And 12 hours. Now we're starting to see it get nasty. Overcast everywhere. We're starting to get super low cloud decks. I don't think it's going to be VFR after about 12 hours from now. 18 hours, everything is pretty much shut in. So, supposed to be rain. Supposed to be a little bit tricky, but we'll see. We've got to practice. We've got to try. And if it means we're going to have to learn and practice IFR procedures, so be it.
I'm sure that will be fun to watch.
Yeah, well, there'll be a lot of gray. I'll be probably looking down mostly at the instruments, and so you'll see a stack of instruments and a very sweaty, nervous pilot. And that does sound
entertaining.
That's what it's going to look like tomorrow. And so if you're into that, then tune in. Other than that, I will close tonight's stream. We'll play a little bit of music. This was a nice, relaxing one as we say goodbye to the good weather and we head into a rainy weekend. I hope everybody has a wonderful night. See you tomorrow for some very gray, very nervous flying. Good night, everybody.
Good night.